I've got 8 books, 4 gifts, and 1 never-ending battle with the TBR. Let's talk about some of the sci-fi I'm reading in 2023. Kicking us off, we have The Mountain in the Sea by Ray Naylor. Rumors begin to spread of a species of hyper-intelligent, dangerous octopus that may have developed its own language and culture. Marine biologist Dr. Nguyen joins a tech corporation's team, including a battle-scarred security agent and the world's first android, in order to study them. But no one has asked the octopuses what they think, and what they might do about it. So I only found out about this book recently, but I knew I just had to go out and get it. And I'm going to give about 50% of the credit to Whitney from the Secret Source of Storycraft for recommending it, and the other 50% I'm going to give to this beautiful cover. I think it is absolutely phenomenal. I know Naylor probably deserves some credit as well, but I already gave away all of my percentage points, so we'll read the book, come back to that, and then see how much credit I have to give to Ray Naylor for writing it. Whitney joined me to talk about some soft sci-fi and hard sci-fi books, and this was one of her 5 hard sci-fi book recommendations, so I'm really looking forward to digging into the science and learning more about this octopus species. I'm quite a big fan of the octopus, especially after watching that documentary, My Octopus Teacher, and I know that Adrian Tchaikovsky is a fan of the octopus as well. So if you're interested in reading more sci-fi books with a hyper-intelligent octopus in them, then you might want to join me in 2023 when I read The Mountain in the Sea. Up next, we have I, Robot by Isaac Asimov. I, Robot launches readers on an adventure into a not-so-distant future where man and machine struggle to redefine life, love, and consciousness, and where the stakes are nothing less than survival. So I, Robot is fairly high up my sci-fi list of shame, although I have read some Asimov, including the original Foundation trilogy, but I definitely need to get to his robot books, starting with I, Robot. I'm really interested in diving into the short story collection that he has here, as well as the rest of the robot series. When I brought that up in my sci-fi detective books video, got a lot of good feedback on those. A lot of people recommended them. So once I get through some of the books that won my sci-fi series vote at the end of last year, then I'll try to get to the robot books towards the end of 2023. And I've been reading some good robot books, some good android books recently. So this is a classic of the subgenre. I definitely need to read it and see how it compares, and let me know if you'd be interested in me making a robot book video, maybe a favorite robot books, or books with robots, androids, cyborgs. I think that could be a lot of fun, so let me know. And for our third book, we have The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. Rosemary Harper doesn't expect much when she joins the crew of the aging Wayfarer. It's also about to get extremely dangerous when the crew is offered the job of a lifetime, tunneling wormholes through space to a distant planet. In the far reaches of deep space, the tiny Wayfarer crew will confront a host of unexpected mishaps and thrilling adventures that force them to depend on each other. So this series came 5th in my sci-fi series vote for 2023, just missing out on the top 3, so I will prioritize those 3 winners. But later in the year, I do want to get to this book because something about it was just calling out to me. I know it's a little bit different from what I normally read. It's a little bit on the lighter side, it's a little bit more character focused, but it just sounds fun. It just sounds like it might be a nice palate cleanser, perhaps in between some of the harder sci-fi books that I read. And I also like that each of the books are relatively standalone, I've been told, so I can kind of pop in and out when I feel like it, when I feel like a nice change of pace, maybe pick up one of these Wayfarer books if I'm enjoying them. Speaking of hard sci-fi, next up we have The Quantum Thief by Hannu Rajaniemi. Jean Leflambeau gets up in the morning and has to kill himself before his other self can kill him first. Just another day in the Dilemma prison. Jean is rescued and taken to the moving city of Mars, where time is a currency, memories are treasures, and a moon-turned singularity lights the night. Meanwhile, investigator Isidore Beautrelet, called in to investigate the murder of a chocolatier, finds himself on the trail of an arch-criminal, a man named Leflambeau. So I've heard Rajaniemi as a writer described as a mix between William Gibson and Greg Egan, which to me sounds absolutely awesome. Now, I might be regretting that when I get 100 pages into this book and I have absolutely no idea what is going on, but hopefully I've got enough sci-fi under my belt that I can kind of push through the learning phase of the book and then really get into the story. This is another one that came up in my sci-fi detective books video, and the comments were a little bit mixed. It didn't work for everyone, but the people that did enjoy this book, it seems like they tend to really enjoy it. So hopefully it works for me when I finally tackle The Quantum Thief. So those were the books that I bought for myself. We're now going to move on to some gifts, which were a very nice holiday surprise. I really enjoy getting to share some of my favorite sci-fi books with you guys, so some of you sending me some of your favorite books is very much appreciated indeed. And we're going to start with actually 2 gifts that I was sent from Tufty McTavish, starting with On Basilisk Station by David Weber. Honor Harrington is in trouble. Having made her superior look the fool, she's been exiled to Basilisk Station in disgrace. The local industry is smuggling, the merchant cartels want her head, and Harrington has a single, overage light cruiser with an armament that doesn't work to police the entire star system. But the people out to get her made one mistake. They made her mad. So this book sounds a little bit tongue-in-cheek and very 90s. And to go along with that, we have this amazing cover. I'm not sure if this is going to come up on camera, but it has this kind of holographic effect to it, which I think is pretty awesome. Reminds me of trading cards from when I was a kid, obviously Pokemon cards, and I don't know if this was an Australian thing, but Oddbods. Let me know if anybody else collected Oddbods when they were a kid. But anyway, this book sounds like a lot of fun. It's military sci-fi. I've heard there's some great naval battles in it, and I believe there's about 14 books in the series, but I think you can just kind of pop in and out. Let me know if that's true. Let me know if I can read this and enjoy it, or whether I'm accidentally committing to a massive series. And the second book I was kindly sent by Tufty is Wool by Hugh Howey. In a ruined and toxic future, a community exists in a giant silo underground, hundreds of stories deep. There, men and women live in a society full of regulations they believe are meant to protect them. Sheriff Holston, who has unwaveringly upheld the silo's rules for years, unexpectedly breaks the greatest taboo of all. He asks to go outside. So this is another series that just missed out on the top 3 spots in my sci-fi series vote for 2023, so it might be one that I start later in the year, but it's one that I'm very much excited to get to. I've been reading a little bit of post-apocalyptic the subgenre recently, and something that I'm starting to get into a little bit more. So I've heard great things about Wool, pretty much unanimously great things about at least the first book, and then it seems like the sequel's a little bit more polarizing. So let me know if you've read the series and what your thoughts are on Wool as well as the sequels. So this next book was a very thoughtful gift from Alex over at Tall Guy Reads. In case you missed it, I had Alex join me on the channel, as well as Christopher Rocchio, to discuss some sci-fi books that we think might appeal to fantasy fans. So definitely watch that and go check out his channel as well. And the book that he sent me was Contact by Carl Sagan. The future is here, in an adventure of cosmic dimension. In December 1999, a multinational team journeys out to the stars, to the most awesome encounter in human history. Who or what is out there? In Cosmos, Carl Sagan explained the universe. In Contact, he predicts its future and our own. So I'm excited to read this one, as I haven't read anything from Carl Sagan before, but I know he was an astronomer, and when I read sci-fi books from actual scientists, sometimes they can tend to be a little bit academic, but as long as they have a good story to tell, I think that actual science background helps bring about a certain level of authenticity and some thought-provoking ideas to the sci-fi story that they're trying to tell. I haven't watched the Robert Zemeckis film version of Contact either, so let me know if you have watched it and if you enjoyed it, whether I should watch it after having read the book. And finally, we have a gift from HKT48 Man. I considered singing you an HKT48 song, but I can't sing. That would be a horrible way to repay you for your kind gift, so we're gonna skip that and just say the book is We by Yevgeny Zamyatin. HKT48, thank you for we. In a glass-enclosed city of absolute straight lines, ruled over by the all-powerful benefactor, the citizens of the totalitarian society of one state live out lives devoid of passion and creativity. Until D503, a mathematician who dreams in numbers, makes a discovery. He has an individual soul. So this book was published in 1924 and influenced some of the classics of the dystopian genre. I know that some people like it just as much, if not more, than some of those classics, so I'm excited to read it for myself and see how it compares to 1984, Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451, so let me know if you've read it and how you think it compares. So there is my first sci-fi book haul of 2023. I want to give a massive thank you to the people that sent me those very thoughtful gifts, and also a quick thank you to all of my patrons, my robots, androids, and cyborgs, Nima and A New Eden. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe. It's free, and you can find more sci-fi content over here.